Right, so hello and welcome back to Books and Things. Now today I just thought I would do a very quick video, a little chat and catch up and Q&A announcement because I realised that as of last week I have now been on Booktube for 2 years. So I feel like 2 years does not sound that long in terms of time, but in the last 2 years, I have lived a lot of life, a lot of stuff has happened and a lot of stuff has changed. In the last 2 years, I have lived in 3 different houses in 2 different cities. I've had 4 different jobs. I've read over 250 books. I've written over 3.5 books. I moved in with Nick, I got a literary agent, I started working in publishing, so much stuff. When I started this channel, I was still a student. I was doing my master's and living in Bath, and now I live and work in London, and I now work in publishing, and it's not even my first job in publishing, and life is very, very different from when I started. So it feels like I've been on Booktube for really quite a long time. Even my hair is a good 6 or 7 inches longer than it was when I started this channel. So I guess what I wanted to say in this video, just briefly, is a kind of thank you, I guess, and why I enjoy Booktube so much. This time last year, when I'd been on Booktube for a year, I made this long video about how much I love Booktube and how much it meant to me, and then I rewatched it and decided I didn't like it and never ever posted it, but I wanted to actually make it this year because there is so much about Booktube that is so important to my life and that I love so much. And it's not just about having a place to talk about books and somewhere to rant about all of the books I love. There's so much more to it. The community aspect is so incredibly important. I have met such amazing people from all over the world on Booktube who I have regular conversations with, whether they are people who I have met up with in real life as well, or people who live on the other side of the world who I will never meet. I've met so many people and read so many books with so many people that I've had fascinating conversations with and who I would have never encountered otherwise, and I think that's a brilliant, wonderful thing about Booktube, that you can share this love of books with so many people from so many different places. And I also love the consistency of it, which may sound weird, but the last 2 years of my life, so much stuff has changed and many good things have happened, but also many less good things have happened, and there have been times that have been really bad in the last 2 years. But having Booktube and having this thing where you put up 2 videos a week, and that is something consistent in a life that is changing a lot, is really, really nice and has meant a lot to me. That, okay, so maybe everything else is in flux or everything else is crazy and my life is completely different now to what it was 2 years ago, but I'm still making 1 or 2 videos a week and still replying to comments and having conversations with people who I meet on the internet and still recording what I read every month and talking about it on Booktube, and that is wonderful and that's really nice, and that's been really amazing, I think, for my confidence and my happiness. I do think that the first 2 years after you leave education are always quite weird 2 years because you are establishing what you're going to do in life and you're finding jobs and you're often moving between jobs quite quickly. In the first few years after you leave education, things change so quickly and progress so rapidly that sometimes you can feel a little bit lost, and having something stable and regular like Booktube has been wonderful and something that I've really, really enjoyed. It's weird because, so I just turned 24 and I realised that I'm no longer in my early 20s, I'm now in my mid-20s, which is weird. Recently on Booktube there's been a little bit of a conversation about growing up, and I hear so many people say that there's no moment where you suddenly feel that you're an adult, but in the last 2 years, I now feel that I'm an adult. 2 years ago, when I started this channel, I don't think I really considered myself an adult, even though I was 22. Now I definitely do, and it's weird how things change like that. I don't know where I was going with that point, but I just wanted to ramble briefly anyway. Another thing I love about Booktube and talking about books on Booktube is that balance between analytical and emotional stuff that I can say. A couple of people have commented on some of my Victorian videos that they think I would really enjoy being a lecturer at university, or that it's something I'd be really good at, and I don't know how I feel about academia. I feel like there are lots of reasons that I would love it, and there's a bit of me that would love to go and do a PhD on Dickens, but on the other hand, one thing I really like about Booktube and the platform Booktube has for talking about books, and especially for talking about classics, is that there is space to declare your love for a novel or an author in the middle of a video. And I like that. One thing I really found about university is that it felt like I couldn't, in the middle of my dissertation on Charles Dickens, just write I really love Dickens, he's awesome. I couldn't write that, and okay, that's fine, it's academia, it's a more formal setting, but it sometimes feels a shame for me that within the academia of English literature, at least in Britain, there isn't that much room to fully love an author. It always has to be about analysis and what's important and what's significant and what means what, rather than what makes you love books. And what I like about Booktube is that I can do all the analytical stuff. I can talk about what something symbolises in a particular Victorian novel. I can do my not so hypothetical Victorian literature course videos, or my how to speak Victorian videos, or I can do in-depth single reviews where I talk about books in great detail and I talk analytically about things. I can also do casual chatty videos. I can also do monthly wrap-ups where I just declare how much I love North and South and just spend 2 minutes just saying how brilliant it is, and I think that's great. And that's what I like about Booktube, and that's why I really love doing it, because I get to meet all awesome people who enjoy awesome books, and I get to talk about awesome books, and that's good. This has been quite rambly, hasn't it? I guess this is just a kind of rambly thank you to Booktube, because I have really enjoyed being part of this community over the last 2 years, and I'm enjoying it more now than ever. It has been a wonderful source of so much joy and happiness, and yes. So to celebrate the fact that I've been on Booktube for 2 years now, I thought I would do another Q&A. I haven't done one for a while. I think the last one I did was back in like September or October when I reached 2,000 subscribers, so that was quite a while ago, and there's been quite a lot of new people since then. So if you do have any questions for me, whether they're about reading, about writing, about working in publishing, about anything you like, please leave them down in the comments, and I will hopefully answer as many as possible soon in a Q&A video. Also, if you have any like specific requests or suggestions for video ideas, then leave them down below as well, because I'd always like to know them. So yes, that was basically all I wanted to say today. A quick thank you, and yes, let's do a Q&A. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back very soon with another bookish video.